This episode of the Chris Johnston Show is brought to you by Sports Interaction. Sports Interaction is your homegrown sports book where local takes on an entirely different meaning, focusing on the teams, games, and players that matter to you. Sports Interaction is on the ground, on top of all the local trends, and offering prop bets that you'd never even imagine existed, from same-game parlays to a best-in-class casino featuring thousands of games and live 24/7 dealers. And now introducing the Locker Room, the first of its kind in Canada, a live watch party for the biggest games of the week. Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook. Go to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN to open an account. Bet local. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. And if you have questions or concerns about gambling or the gambling of someone close to you, please go to connexontario.ca.
I know that some in our audience know the finer points of hockey.
The Chris Johnston Show.
We are your friends.
The biggest stories, bringing you inside the game.
What did you hear?
Powered by Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook. Always remember to bet local.
Here's Chris with your host, Julian McKenzie.
Part of the game.
Here comes CJ Claus, here comes CJ Claus, right down CJ Claus Lane. Merry Christmas, buddy. I never get to open the show.
You never get to open these shows. That was really great. That was a good voice. I was waiting for you to finish the song.
Yeah, I haven't, I didn't have time to jig up all the lyrics. I've been kind of busy here opening presents, hanging out with my family.
No.
So, it's a little tease. Nice festive start, though, to a great time of year.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for this time of year. I'm grateful for you and the rest of the SDPN crew and the fans, obviously, but getting to spend time for Christmas, just being around friends and family, nothing better, man. And just, really grateful. But I do need you to do something for me, if that's okay. Because I know we're doing this episode. It's Christmas themed. We're going to be festive. You can hear the jingle bells. I would like for you to do like one sort of serious hockey thing for me. Is that okay?
What?
There's
not even games going on right now. What's there to talk about?
I understand. There's other Christmas stuff I want to get to on today's episode. But I would love it if you would use your generosity, CJ Claus, to gift one gift to each Canadian team across the NHL. You might as well do it. You're wearing the hat. You have the beard. I'm sure you still got some gifts left in the goodie bag. Why not do it?
Right down CJ Claus Lane.
Please.
Okay, if I have to.
Okay,
if I have to.
Okay, all right. Thank you, CJ. Literally, the gifts you can give these Canadian teams, it could be anything you want.
So do you know, does Santa fly east to west when giving out the gifts, or is it west to east? Because we should do it. We should do it in sequential order if I'm going from place to place.
That actually is something that came to mind, but to your point, I wondered if going from west to east or east to west makes sense. Since weather goes from west to east, why not go west to east?
See, I was thinking it was going to be east to west.
Would you rather east to west?
Well, it's not about my preference for gifts. I'm just trying to follow Santa's flight track.
Oh, man. We should have gotten producer Nick to give us an active...
We need a ruling on this.
Plan this year? What was the route plan? We need the active route plan. Okay. Producer
Nick says east to west.
He's made the judgment call. We're going east to west here. So let's start from east to west. So let's start with the Montreal Canadiens then.
Oh, I thought we could start in Quebec City and we could say a team.
Oh, no, CJ. That's not nice.
I know. I'd love to see them.
I mean, they would love a team there, yes.
Yes, and I would too. I wish I could grant them one, gift them one.
I mean, I would love it more than anything else for that community and that city, and obviously just the renewal of a Quebec rivalry, but in due time, Quebec City fans. Let's start with the Montreal Canadiens.
That'll be Santa 2024, hits Quebec City.
Yes.
The Montreal Canadiens. It's been a bit of a tough year in Montreal. I think it to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I would grant them is a place for them to send one of their goaltenders. Because I would grant them a suitor offering them something that they would take back in return so that they could ease the three headed goalie monster that has been in their crease. Because I don't think this was necessarily the plan. I mean, the plan, of course, is to protect their assets. There was concern at the start of the year about losing Caden Primo potentially on waivers. And so he wasn't able to go through waivers and play in Laval for them in the American Hockey League. They've since extended Samuel Montembeault, so I assume he's part of the plans. But I would grant them a suitable trade offer for one of Jake Allen or Caden Primo. Because I do think after a certain amount of time, and we're now more than 2 months into the season, it's a long time to be carrying 3 goalies. There's only 2 nets on the ice, even at practice. So it's hard to get everyone the reps they need. And so I think this might be not the best gift Santa's ever come up with, but that's what I'm giving the Canadians this year.
I'm interested in the fact that you've included Caden Primo in this, because I would have thought that Jake Allen might be the obvious person to have a change of address. Why lump in Caden Primo?
Well, I think that they're open to doing either, right? I mean, Jake Allen's probably, I would say, the more likely to move because he's a more proven entity, played a lot of games in the league. And, naturally, if we're looking at teams that are looking to strengthen their position in that, they probably feel a little more comfortable bringing him in the short term in terms of being able to play big games. So, he's got a no trade clause, 8 teams, I believe, on his limited no trade clause. So that could gum up the works. But I think either goaltender, they'd be open to moving if the package they got back was deemed to be suitable. Okay.
All right. So we'll cross off the Montreal Canadiens. They got their gift already. Let's move on to the Ottawa Senators.
This is a big gift. Like, it's hard to fit this in the sleigh, but I want to give the Ottawa Senators a legit playoff race in March and early April.
That's a massive gift to put in their stocking.
It's a lot to put in there. It's you need the stocking, you need the whole tree area. You might need a secondary room in the house to get it all in there. But I'd like to see them play meaningful home games down the stretch with a chance to make the playoffs. And one thing that's dogged them early in the year, Julian, they've played fewer games than most of the league. And so I know they've dug a big hole. It doesn't look good right now, but if they have a very successful January and February, I think it's something that they've wanted for a long time there. Obviously they want to make the playoffs. They have to do that for themselves. Santa can't just hand them a playoff spot, but I'd like to hand them the opportunity to play those games late in the year that matter most. I think their fans deserve it. I think their players that have been there for a long time deserve it. And frankly, that team it's been a hard luck time. I think brighter days are ahead. Maybe didn't come as easily as was hoped when Mike Landauer took over ownership of the team in September. But I'd like to give them the gift of meaningful March and April hockey.
Okay. All right. I like that. Let's go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. What are you gifting the Toronto Maple Leafs?
What do you get for the team that has everything? What do you get for your friend that has everything, right? I think the Toronto Maple Leafs, Santa's feeling very generous. CJ Claus is feeling very generous here. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm going to give them a defensive pairing.
Okay.
So I'm not just giving them one defenseman.
So 2.
Santa is coming up with a ready-made pairing to drop right onto the Leafs blue line. Look, they've really hung in well here in this stretch leading up to Christmas time, really through November when they got the injury bug in a major way. And credit to their depth defensemen, the Simon Benoit, Max Lajoie, William Lagesson. These guys have filled in pretty capably, but I think for the Leafs to become anywhere near the kind of team they endeavor to become, it's going to take not just one defenseman, but 2 additions to this roster. And Santa's, again, feeling very generous. So lots of room in the sleigh this year to deliver 2 ready-made left shot and a right shot defensemen to the Leafs roster.
Bonus gift. Steve Dangle. What does he get?
A lump of coal.
Oh,
Steve's
man.
been bad this year. Have you been watching
Damn.
the LFRs? He's got to control his emotions a little bit better
This year? More than any other year? Actually, you know what? Actually, no. You know what? This year he's actually been pretty bad. This is a different Steve.
He's unhinged.
Unhinged.
He's unhinged. So he's going to get some coal, which I'm sure will anger him further. But I hope it allows him time to reflect in this holiday season.
So once again,
2024 is just around the corner here. We can all endeavor to be better.
Steve asks for trades and once again denied. A lump of coal in your stocking instead. Okay, we've done Montreal, we've done Ottawa, we've done Toronto. Let's move on to the Winnipeg Jets.
You know, Winnipeg has been a great story in the early going of the season. They've really, I think I was actually, if you go right back to the first episode, I was saying that I thought they were a playoff team. So I expected them to be good, but they've probably been a little more competitive even than I was forecasting at the start of the year. What I would like to gift the Winnipeg Jets is 2,000 more people to buy tickets to each game.
Damn. Okay.
Because,
damn.
because to this part of the season,
straight to the attendance issue. Okay.
Well,
Jesus.
I'm trying to give you what you really want, what you really need, right? The Leafs need a defenseman. Ottawa needs competitive games. Montreal
Winnipeg needs fans in the seats.
Well, they deserve. I'm being serious here, though.
Okay.
There's a lot of hardworking people in that organization.
Yes.
They've built a better team than people thought, or they've a more competitive team. You know, Rick Bowness has really, I think, gelled them together. I just think that they deserve now to have the fans show up a bit more. And I know there's all kinds of reasons. It's funny. Yuratash, our athletic colleague, and I are working on a story on the Jets attendance. So maybe this is a little fresh in mind. And there's all kinds of reasons. I'm not blaming the fans, but I'm just saying my gift to them is a more anxious ticket buying base to reward them for their great start to this season.
Okay. I see where you're coming from with that.
There's no malice intended in that comment.
No.
It's a business at the end of the day, man, and they're not bringing in enough revenue. Like, it's got to change, and usually when your team's winning, that should change it. And so I'm optimistic. CJ Claus is heading into 2024 envisioning great things for the Jets, but I hope it can be boosted by these 2,000 tickets per game that CJ Claus has delivered to the market.
Honorable mention, an accelerated timeline for Kyle Connor's recovery.
I like that. Well, I mean, they did provide a window of time, right? So let's hope it's more 6 weeks than 8 weeks from the date he got injured.
Okay, let's move on from Winnipeg to the Edmonton Oilers.
Ooh, Edmonton. Edmonton's had quite a first part of the season, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
What do the Oilers need?
I mean,
do you have any suggestions for me?
I mean, they're winning a lot of games nowadays, right? I mean, they didn't lose.
Do you know what? I'm gifting them a defenseman.
You're gifting them a defenseman too.
Sorry, no, not a defenseman. A goaltender. A goaltender. Yes. Abort. They still need a little bit more confidence in their crease. Maybe CJ Claus could just, double gift, re-gift them a Jake Allen. Maybe that would solve the problem. It could take care of both two of Montreal, my 7 gifts to hand out.
Montreal and Edmonton in the not so secret Santa.
Exactly. But whether it's Jake Allen or somebody else, I am going to gift the Oilers another goaltending option that gives them confidence as they go into the second half of the season, prepare for the playoffs. It's been an up and down year in Edmonton. Things have been much better here of late, leading into the holiday break, and so I'm going to give them a defenseman here, or defenseman. Man,
you have a lot of defensemen in your.
I got a lot of gifts to give, man. It's easy to mix them up.
Yeah, jeez, a lot of defensemen. Hope you can spare me one. Anyway,
well, your next stop is gonna. There's a lot of defensemen there.
There are a lot of defensemen there, actually, in Calgary. That is the next spot. Please tell us what Calgary deserves.
Well, my gift to Craig Conroy and the Calgary Flames is another first-round pick, because we know it's going to be a very busy trading season for the Flames. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And obviously, they traded Nikita Zadorov earlier in the season, but they've got many other pieces to be dealt before March 8th comes. And any team that's in that mode always loves to accrue first-round picks. So I'm hoping that either by packaging one or more of those players, or one of the players on their own, the market will be strong enough that he's going to get at least one first-round pick as part of his bounty, and Calgary starts looking ahead to better days down the line.
Imagine you go to Calgary and you say, here's at least one first-round pick. We'll just say they get one. What if that, I guess, whatever, maybe we'll say Craig Conroy. Craig Conroy looks at you and says, can I have some more? How do you respond?
Obviously, he's going to get more in addition to the first-round pick, but for me, it's not about number of assets. It's about the quality of assets when you're making these trades. And sometimes, I get it, teams do opt for volume over, but I think, when you're trading the caliber of players that the Flames have to trade and are likely to trade here, getting back at least one first-round pick in those deals would be a huge boost to the program.
Okay. At least one first-round pick, says CJ Claus. Now, the Vancouver Canucks.
Can I gift them a number 1 banner to put up in the arena, or is that too soon?
Why did they retire Roberto Luongo's number?
I don't know. Ring of Honor. Well, I think I do know. I mean, it was an up and down tenure with Luongo off the ice with trade. There's a lot of complications with him and management, and I'm not saying certainly it was all on the player, but maybe there's a little bit of residue left over from some of the business dealings. But I mean, that should never be the case anyway. I was just being tongue in cheek there. Maybe I'll give them that in addition, and they can do with it what they want. Like they can hang it at their house or hang it in the arena.
That might actually be my favorite gift of all the gifts you've given. Just a random number 1 banner. Do what you want with it.
Yeah, just saying, guys, you might need this. There might be a place for this. The Canucks.
Like MC McLean instead of Luongo.
I'm going to gift. I mean, the Canucks credit where credit is due. What a great start to the year they've had. Super strong first third of the campaign. I'm going to gift them another top 6 forward, though. I think that look, I guess I could gift them more salary cap space because then they could use it as they want. That's sort of like the equivalent of giving someone like a gift card for Christmas. It's like, hey, here you go, Julian. Here's your Amazon gift card. You buy what you want. So I could gift them more salary cap space
on it.
There you go. I could gift them more salary cap space because obviously that's been a challenge, for the Canucks and many other teams. But going back a couple of years now, maybe they could spend it as they want. But I'm going to go right to spending it for them and give them another top 6 forward. I think they're probably one top 6 forward shy of really being kind of a contenderish status. But I mean, this team this roster is working out, and the high end players are driving the engine here. I think giving them one more doesn't have to be top option, but someone to ride shotgun with the Millers and Petterssons and Besser this year with the way he's playing, Quinn Hughes and the like. I think that one more big piece and that team could really make some noise in 2024.
Okay. All right. We have given a gift to every Canadian team in the NHL. Do you have any other surprise gifts, or is that enough for this year? We got to wait back for Christmas 2024 for more gifts from CJ Claus.
I'd like to give a gift to you and producer Nick both.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you.
A fine bottle of scotch.
Because thank you.
I know that you just might need to tip back and have a nice drink every once in a while after dealing with me twice a week all year long. So you might need to take the edge off here and there. And so I'd like to give both you and Nick a nice bottle of scotch.
Okay. Well, in exchange, I will give you a bottle of rum, Ray and Nephew, so you can top it off on your favorite drinks and enjoy yourself. Because I'm sure as much as you may feel the way you feel about us having to deal with you, the feeling's mutual. I'm sure I haven't been always that easy every now and again. So,
and let's face it, CJ Claus does most of his shopping for the adults in his family at the liquor store. So,
yeah. Tell you what, I mean, it's not a bad place for some people. Some people
I'm just
don't
saying.
drink.
Yeah, of course not. I mean, my nieces and nephews and the younger members of the family, because I'm a kid at heart, I can get them various toys and things, but I'm not good at buying the adult gifts. So, well, I'm pretty predictable. Anyway, so
I appreciate your thoughtfulness, Siege. I want to know more about your holiday traditions on the other side of the break. I got a couple questions, and I might have a surprise for you by the end of today's episode. We'll see.
Ooh. I like holiday surprises.
Welcome to You Can Bet That. Remember to hit up sportsinteraction.com/SDPN for all of your gaming needs. Normally we do hockey props or betting lines and all that. We've decided to do the NFL today. the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, the San Francisco 49ers, at 3.50 to 1, 7 to 1, second best odds, the Baltimore Ravens. Kansas City follows after that. Philadelphia follows after that. I'm sure you're wondering where the Dallas Cowboys rank in all of this, CJ.
Well, this, Julian, feels like a gift to me that you've even just opened this box for us to look around in and discover and discuss.
Yeah.
Because I think you are absolutely out of your mind if you are not on the Dallas Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. This is the year, buddy. This is the year. We got a defense. Dak is on another level.
I'm good. You could just handle it for the next 30 seconds. You could.
Dak is on another level. C.D. Lamb. Julian, this is the year for the Dallas Cowboys. And so, with respect to all those other teams, it's nice that they have odds to win. It's nice that they're out there. But I will say that this is the Dallas Cowboys year. So, that's all I really got to say about that. I can't believe you can get them at the fifth best odds. I mean, they might as well. I mean, really, come on.
8.50 to 1, fifth best odds, tied actually with the Miami Dolphins.
This is not gambling advice, but I'm just saying those are pretty good odds.
Anyway, don't forget to check out sportsinteraction.com/SDPN for all the best odds before game, in game, and the best props. sportsinteraction.com/SDPN.
Go Cowboys.
Okay, all right, you're done.
On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous CJ show of all?
What?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. All right.
Okay. All right. We've done.
People have heard enough of us singing.
Okay. Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think they've heard enough of us singing it at all. We should start. We should do an album. We should record a Christmas album. How about that?
I love it. I love it.
Okay. So if we do a Christmas album, what songs do we need on the Christmas album? The CJ Show Christmas album.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've said this in a past episode, but I think the classic. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Do. What is that song called?
Do they know it's Christmas?
I think it's got a different name.
No, I think it's called Do They Know It's Christmas?
Okay. Well, I'm not challenging in that. I'm so bad with this sort of thing. But
I think Do They Know It's Christmas? Group is called Band-Aid.
No Christmas album. It wasn't a group, right? Band-Aid was like it brought together all these celebrities.
It was a super group.
Yeah, and they were raising money, I believe, for HIV awareness at the time. But
I'm literally looking up on Wikipedia.
You're reading it right now. So
literally
anyway,
for the famine in Ethiopia,
in
the early 1980s.
Oh, right.
That's what it was.
Do they know it's okay now?
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm really flailing here, but I'm just saying, no Christmas album would be complete without that. I also like some of the newer Christmas tunes.
Okay. All right.
Like one that I was listening to this month a fair bit. It was just like on the rotation on the Spotify Christmas list was Taylor Swift's Christmas Tree Farm.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
I don't know if you know it, but it's pretty good. And so I'd like that on my Christmas list. But the truth is, honestly, I am a sucker for. I mean, I guess you got to have Mariah Carey on there. Everyone knows Mariah.
It's licensed to print money as far as I'm concerned if we have Mariah Carey Christmas songs on there. In particular, the one Christmas song we all know.
Yes. So that would be my sampling. What about you? Do you have any favorites or?
You know what's funny? For years, I have been, I don't want to say anti-Christmas music, but I was not a big Christmas music person. But I feel as if in the last year or so, my heart has softened. The icebox where my heart used to be is actually turning into a heart.
Oh, so
yeah.
You're less Grinchy than you have been.
Yeah, at least with Christmas music. I guess it's just because like people would play it in like the middle of November, and then once December 26th happens, it's like, nope, we don't want it anymore. It's like, no, I'm in Christmas spirit now. But I don't know. I loved
I gotta
one
say,
of my
Christmas music is welcome in my house from November till March, basically.
yes.
So.
DMX, I was at a radio station once, and he did his own rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it was so popular that he recorded his own version for it. And I remember playing it at my Christmas family dinner one year. Last Christmas with Wham also has to be on that list with George Michael. That's got to be there.
I'm gonna listen to that DMX. I've never heard his version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but that's awesome.
Oh man, I'll send you the clip when we're done recording today. That is one of the greatest things I've ever heard.
And since I'm willing to listen to Christmas album till March, I mean, I still got lots of run on that DMX song, even though I'm hearing it just now.
I was about to say, like, I mean, this is for another time, but like, just trying to think, I need to know your top 5 dead or alive rappers list. But you know what? We'll save that for let's save that for a future episode. Let's save it for a future episode.
What was your favorite ever Christmas present when you were a kid?
Oh man, my favorite Christmas present as a kid. So for me, it's less of, I guess, a gift more than just like so there was a year, this is a bit of a long story. So I have an uncle of mine who now lives in New York, and he shares the same name as my grandfather, Alton Francis. And for years, we would like hear about him, hear stories about him. And my grandfather would joke with like me and my sisters, man, you should find him on Facebook. And as kids, we're like, okay, like there's no way we're going to find him on Facebook. He's not just there. We found him on Facebook and we started talking with him. And there was a Christmas where he showed up and it was the first time he had been around our family in like years. And I remember that being a memorable Christmas. And he asked me and my sisters like what we wanted for Christmas and stuff. And we asked them for stuff, but like that for me will go down as like a great Christmas gift because it was just like a cool family thing to happen. Like for me, like gifts, especially now where I'm
not talking as an adult. I mean, as a kid.
No, but like I wasn't. But no, but like that happened to me like I want to say like a decade ago. So I was still relatively like a kid. But like I mean, like for me now, like as an adult, like for Christmas and stuff, I try not to trip too much about gifts. I find like just spending the family time is just way more meaningful. That being said, we did get a Nintendo Wii one year, and that was a big deal for everybody in the house.
There you go. See, that's what I was gonna say, because you're gonna make me look like a jerk. Because I'm sitting here like, I'm like, do I choose between the time that I got the Nintendo or the time I got I got a Doug Gilmour jersey once when I was a kid, and that was pretty exciting.
I'm sorry, man.
I got an Easton aluminum, which was predates you, but it was like the kind of stick at the time Wayne Gretzky was using, and was not the sort of stick that my family would be in the habit of buying me just to use day to day. So I got all these I'm like, how do I choose between these gifts that I remember going bananas over when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old? And then you're like, tell this heartfelt story. I mean, that's nice.
Man, I got my cousin one year bought me you know what's funny? I don't have the stick in front of me. I wish I did, but like I got a hockey stick one year. And it was like a right shot. For whatever reason, I just as a kid, as an idiot, as a right-handed person, I thought because I was right-handed, I needed a right shot stick. So I still have it, and I think it was like it had Crosby's name on it, but like, I don't remember what the brand was. I don't remember if it was an Easton stick or what other brand it might have been. But like I remember getting that as like for Christmas one year and just being so happy.
So are you saying that if you and I played road hockey right now, you'd actually be a left shot though, even though you have this right shot stick?
I would be a left shot, but there was a weird time in my life where I played with right shots. And one time I played a ball hockey game with a friend and he looked at me taking shots. He was like, your shooting form is like weird. And he gave me a left shot and just everything changed. Yeah. I was a dumb little kid who didn't know any better, but now I know better.
I mean, look, that's how it is. That's how it is.
Yeah. That's up there at Christmas gifts for me. What about like holiday traditions that happen to be like hockey related? I mean, there's one obvious answer that comes from this, I guess.
The World Junior Tournament?
The World Junior Tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have watched that event just as a fan. Like I've actually never covered a World Junior tournament. So I've never gone professionally, which is totally fine because I want to be home at the holidays. So I'm not, I'm not lobbying any of my employers to send me to one. But
you've gone to games, just going to games.
I went to the final. I went to the gold medal final, Canada Sweden, when the tournament was in Buffalo. I want to say that might have been 2018, and sat in the crowd. I think that's it. But my point is even though the line of work I've been in for a long time, I still have always just watched those games as a fan. So that's definitely going back to even when I was a child. That was something we did. You know, our family, and we kept it up this year. We're actually going tomorrow. We always rent the ice, and literally every member of the family that cares to, you know, going from like small nieces and nephews that are under 10 to, you know, my brother and I, to my dad, who's, you know, in his 70s, we all get on the ice together and do a little skate. And then usually eventually the skate peels off, and then anyone who wants to play a game of shinny plays shinny. So that one's continuing that. And that goes back a fair number of years that we've been doing that. So I'm excited that we're continuing that one. So that's another sort of hockey adjacent, I'd say, tradition in our family. You know, as a kid, I played it so much road hockey. I mean, I played organized hockey too, minor hockey, but I do know that like we'd like open our presents, and then, you know, 3 hours pass and you're a kid with all this energy, and we'd be out on the street with our friends playing ball hockey, or maybe showing off a new gift of some sort that we got that was relevant. So, you know, hockey, won't surprise you to hear, has been a part of my life for like as long as I remember, and a part of, by extension, my family traditions too.
Man, I'm like the one like real hockey guy in the family. So a lot of times when I'm watching the World Juniors, like 9 times out of 10, I'm like watching the game on my own. There's like one vivid memory I have where I was watching, is it 2009 where Jordan Eberle scores the goal against Russia? Is it 2009? Because it was in Ottawa. That I remember.
Yes, 2009 was Ottawa.
I was like alone in
Tavares scored some big goals in that tournament too.
He did. He had a massive tournament, and there was a game on New Year's as well. But I remember just being at my grandma's house and just being alone with the TV to myself in her room, and like going back and forth between that game and there's some random show on CTV at the time. And just because like I was looking at the game, I was like, okay, Canada's not going to win. And then like flipping the channel right in time to see, why is this game going to overtime? Canada should have lost this game. And then seeing Jordan Eberle's heroics. I mean, it's not that like my family doesn't like hockey. It's just I'm like the like hockey person. So I'm used to just being the, not a weirdo, but just being the person who just kind of enjoys any World Junior hockey moment on my own. My dad and I will sometimes watch games too. He does like sports. Well, I mean, it's more just togetherness with us. But like I'm the hockey guy. So a lot of those memories for me, it's just like I associate them with just like me. Other like traditions.
We had lots of non-hockey traditions, though. I mean,
yeah, me too.
Christmas Eve, my sister and I used to get to open a gift. It was usually always pajamas that we would wear to bed that night. You know, one that my parents had when I was a kid that I, as I became an adult myself, have adopted is champagne and orange juice on Christmas morning.
Mimosa?
Mimosa, champagne and orange juice, whatever you want to call it. But that was my mom, Linda, was a big proponent of that. Probably because she hadn't slept, and you know, whatever Mrs. Claus activities had occupied the night before, or whatever family was around, or she was probably worried about dinner that night and all those things. My mom was Superwoman who pulled off all that stuff when it came to the holidays, in addition to working, so that I think she could kick back at least for a couple hours on Christmas morning and have a mimosa. And that's something we still do, and obviously toast my mom and think about her every year that we've had to celebrate Christmas without her. So, you know, I think that those are things that jump out of my mind. But I'm with you. I'm no, like, I could care less. And thank you for anyone who did give me a gift this holiday season. But in general, I do not, you know, need any presents nowadays. It's all about the kids, and really, it's all about being together. And so that's that's how I feel about the holiday. That's why I like it so much. So I feel like it's one of the few holidays a year where no matter what's happening in everyone's lives and my family, we find a way to get together, because it can be hard. Everyone's busy. We're spread out across the province in various places. Obviously, you know, my siblings have partners, so they got in-law, you know, there's a lot of moving parts and their own kids nowadays. So It's nice that we find a way to make it all happen.
How many siblings do you have?
I'm one of 4 kids.
Oh, so where are you in the order of age, I guess?
I'm 3 out of 4.
Okay, so it's weird because it's like an even number, so you can't really do like a middle child thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that would tell you about me. Like, I don't know what it says, but
Yeah.
my younger sister Laura, she's only 11 months younger than me, so we grew up very close, just by nature of being born so close together. We were 1 grade apart in school. Growing up in a small town, basically there was huge overlap in our friends. And she lives out in Ottawa now and has kids of her own. And then my older brother and sister, Greg and Nadine, they're much older. So, I mean, certainly they've been a part of my life since I was a kid, but, so I'm kind of 3 in the official order, but then I'm 1 in our, they were off at university when I was a young kid. So it was just my younger sister and I in the house for a lot of my formative years.
I love learning about little CJ. Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, are you going to make me only name one?
Do you have more than one?
I mean, Christmas Vacation is probably my answer.
Is that National Lampoon?
Yes. And
Okay.
I literally watch that every year. As you know, I don't watch any movies to begin with,
No.
but I do not tire of that movie. Even all these years later, it still cracks me up. I love that the Blackhawks jersey makes an appearance in it. There's a couple hockey references in that movie, but I find it hilarious. And again, it's just part of something I did as a kid. I loved Home Alone as a kid. I'd be less inclined to probably sit down and watch it today, but there's sentimental attachment to that movie. I really love Love Actually as a movie. That one always pulls at my heartstrings.
Are you a rom-com guy?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's not like the only genre of movie I enjoy.
No,
but
you like rom-coms.
I could enjoy a rom-com.
Okay.
Does that surprise you?
You know what? No, it doesn't. It actually does not surprise me at all about you.
I feel like that's on brand, no?
That's very on brand, actually. You're a very loving person.
But so those would be among them. But there's so many good Christmas movies.
I know, and because we're talking about Christmas movies, I have to do this to you, right?
No,
You
don't do it.
Yeah, we're doing it. It's time for the movie game, Christmas edition. CJ, I'm sorry, buddy. It's time. For those who are not familiar with the movie game, because CJ watches so many movies, we get him to guess the plot of a movie I randomly throw out at him. This time, I'm going to throw out movie names, Christmas themed. There's one in there that might. I'm very curious about how you'll react to it. But yes, I want you to guess the plot of these Christmas movies.
Okay.
This will be fun. I promise. Okay, fine.
I thought this was going to be like a light episode, and here you're.
It's light, all right.
You're stretching my brain, though. Okay.
Let's
get this over with.
This is going to be
right
lit.
now. Everybody is like, okay, we've heard enough of this episode. We out.
Elf. The movie Elf.
I've seen the movie Elf, but I don't even remember what it's about.
You don't know that, you don't want to give it a try. Give it the good old college try for Elf.
That's Will Ferrell, right?
Will Ferrell is in this movie, yes.
It's a movie about one of Santa's helpers who's down and out, but it's the redeeming spirit of Christmas that gives him purpose again.
You have not watched this movie, because if you've seen that movie, Will Ferrell's elf character is anything but down and out.
I honestly, I did see it a long time ago. I just forget the actual plot. I did my best.
Raised as an oversized elf, Buddy Buddy is the name of Will Ferrell's character. Travels from the North Pole to New York City to meet his biological father, Walter Hobbs, who doesn't know he exists and is in desperate need of some Christmas spirit. If you had said his dad was down and out, maybe you would have been a little closer to the truth.
Man.
Okay.
I'm not going to get any of these, just so you know. So
I mean, the whole point of this game is not for you to get any of these. Christmas with the Cranks.
This is a movie about having to spend Christmas with your in-laws, the Crank family, and everything goes awry. because that Crank family is very dysfunctional, and they forgot how to prepare the turkey for Christmas dinner, and you had to come in and save the day.
Who's you?
The main character, Robert.
Who's Robert?
Robert had to spend Christmas with the Cranks, his in-laws. They are a dysfunctional family. They don't know how to cook. The turkey is ruined, but Robert comes in and saves the day by cooking an amazing turkey, getting the dinner back on track, and everyone goes home happy because Robert cured the Cranks' dysfunction.
Okay. With their daughter Blair away in Peru, Luther and Nora Crank decide to skip Christmas altogether until she decides to come home, causing an uproar when they have to celebrate it at the last minute.
I was close.
They were close enough. The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
This is a story about flying reindeer that each have a superpower. And they have to team together in order to save the world's children on Christmas Eve by fending off alien robots using their superpowers.
You got the superpowers, right? I guess. I mean, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's really just a general thing. And Star-Lord, Drax, Rocket, Mantis, and Groot engage in some spirited shenanigans in an all-new original special created for Disney. Admittedly, I have not seen that special, so maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. We'll never know.
I was in the ballpark.
Yeah, sort of. Let's see how you react to this one. Die Hard.
Ooh. This is a movie about death and destruction on Christmas Eve.
I mean,
widespread death and destruction, ruining Christmases, ruining the holiday spirit.
A New York City police officer tries to save his estranged wife and several others taken hostage by terrorists during a Christmas party at the Nakatomi Plaza in Los Angeles. Is that description broad enough to count? Producer Nick,
the closest
Nick, can you
I
judge
was.
on this?
That was the closest I was.
I think that's generally the closest you might have ever been.
I've actually never seen Die Hard either.
Okay, we're getting a judgment call from producer Nick. No, that will not count.
Do you know what?
How have you not seen Die Hard?
Do you know what my wish is? Is in
what?
2024, producer Nick will just jump in and start talking in those instances.
Leave us a like and a comment in the video if you want more of that, because we do
need a ruling every now and again, and he is the voice of reason behind the show, and the audience, at least that don't know us personally, don't even know Nick. He could be like a new character we introduced to the sitcom here.
This is a sitcom for you?
Life is a sitcom, buddy.
I do see life as a sitcom. It's just that we don't have any of those like laughing tracks in the background. It's just like a mockumentary style type of deal, except we don't have to do any of those talking heads. I have one last one for you.
Okay, let's get out of here.
I
got some eggnog to drink. Tyler
Perry's A Medea Christmas.
I don't even know what that is. Who's Tyler Perry?
You don't know who Tyler Perry is?
Should I?
You know what? That's a really good question. I don't know. Tyler Perry is very...
Did he play in the NHL?
No. Tyler Perry is a playwright, actor, director who got super famous making this character named Medea, who is this oversized lady, American lady who just sounds hilarious to a certain amount of people. It's just that like they've made so many movies, the product has essentially been watered down and oversaturated.
This is the first I'm hearing of any of this. This is like all new information. So
I have to say, I'll say this about Tyler Perry and that genre of movies. People would say two Americas, the two types of people. It's just, I'm not surprised that you don't know about these movies. I'm not surprised.
All right. I'm sorry, man.
And for those who get it.
To be fair, I've never seen Die Hard.
For those who get it, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
I haven't seen Die Hard or Lord of the Rings or any number of other popular movies too. So,
all right. You want to take a crack at A Medea Christmas?
No, because I don't know what a Medea is.
What do you mean what a Medea is? Medea's a person. Medea is the character I'm talking about.
I don't have it in me.
Come on. You got it. You got it. Plus, you have to do stick taps after this anyway, so you might as well have fun with this. You just just give me a bombastic side eye really quickly?
We're just over time here, and I don't really know what to say about it, Medea.
Okay. Medea dispenses her unique form of holiday spirit on a rural town when she's coaxed into helping a friend pay her daughter a surprise visit in the country for Christmas.
Oh, that sounds heartwarming.
It I'll send you the trailer for the movie after. Okay. Do you have a holiday stick tap that you'd like to dish out, my man? We put you through enough.
I didn't even know there was holiday stick taps.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You got to start then if you're in charge.
Okay. Well, I could just do the cheesy thing and just be like, hey, just thank you to everyone who's watched this year and just spent some good time for the holidays. I guess
If you're going to do that, you should say it with some purpose, though, man. Like, you sound like you're workshopping it here.
My stick tap is to all of our listeners and all of our fans of the CJ Show who are enjoying Christmas, Hanukkah, or any other holiday you celebrate at this time. And we thank you for taking time out of your Christmas schedules to watch us. Stick taps to you.
And I second that, and I just say, for the 12 of you that actually reached the end of this episode, extra blessing to you, and hope the holiday season's treating you great.
All right. That's going to do it. Subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to the SDPN YouTube channel, and keep it locked for more great content. For CJ, I'm Julian. So long, and happy holidays. Merry Chrysler.
The Chris Johnston Show.
Powered by Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook. Always remember to bet local.
Inside the game twice a week. Follow Chris on Twitter @ReporterChris. And follow Julian McKenzie @JK and McKenzie.
The Chris Johnston Show.